that's our God that's serving us. I mean, hey, he did all this. He put this heart in our chest. And I always say, put your hands on your heart and feel it. Guess what? It's beating, and you didn't deserve it. It just happened. You're here, and as long as this keeps beating, then you should be grateful for every moment while you're here, and that's how I live my life in gratitude.
Amen. Hey guys, it is Jennifer DeVivo with Let's Talk Orlando, and we are on a golf course. Today we're at Winter Park, and we have an amazing interview for you guys. Remember, we are Let's Talk Orlando, amazing lives, amazing homes, and we have an amazing life to share with you today. We're interviewing Tim Hurja, who is a former PGA Golf champion and the peak performance coach for Anthony Robbins. And we're going to talk today about what are the characteristics, the techniques, the philosophy to bring out your greatness. And you know I'm a realtor, so when you're buying your home, a lot of times part of my job is to coach you, to help you get past your fears and your doubts, to see the vision, to get to the whole in this case. So what are the keys for visualization? And if you're a realtor, because we talk to a lot of realtors, what are some of the characteristics, what are some of the techniques and the coaching skills that you can do to serve your client to really, really crush your real estate game? We're going to be talking about that today. And we'll give you some golf tips too. Okay guys, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I am Jennifer DeVivo, and we are sitting down with the amazing Tim Hurja, PGA Lifetime member and peak performance coach to Anthony Robbins. We are so blessed and so honored to have you here today, Tim.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome. We got a great group here. We're at the golf course. This is my office.
We're masterminding and we're about to tee up here. So I was able to get him for a couple minutes, and I sat down and I said, Tim, what are the most important things that you want to share with our audience at Let's Talk Orlando? What is your vision? And a lot of times people come, well, I have this event and I have this product and but what were the things you told me, and it just touched my heart?
Well, a lot of people, when they look at golf, they always think about the mechanics and, what's my left arm doing, and do my shoulders turn 90 degrees? And hey, whether you're a golfer or not, I'm going to share something right now that I think is of my 50 years of being on this planet, of all the great instructors that I've been with. I think the most important thing is there's 3 emotions to play in. And most people play in the fear that they can't hit the shot.
That was me this morning,
right?
This is my first time.
And they doubt they can hit it.
Yes.
And then after they take the swing, they're usually finding something to go, or hate or be angry about.
Yeah.
And then I made this 2 millimeter shift, and I realized, wow, I'm in this spot, and every time the ball doesn't go where I want it to go, I'm angry or pissed off, or sometimes, say a few things that I shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
And then I went, well, wait a second. And you know what? The opposite, when you're in a limiting belief or you're in a negative, the opposite's usually the best way to go. And so get this, 3 emotions to play in. Number 1, faith. And this goes for not just the golf course. I'm going to step up to every ball that I'm going to hit.
Yes.
And I'm going to step up to every opportunity in life, whether it's a conversation, an interview, or whatever.
And that's what I've always heard on my first time here, that golf and life have this paradox, that they're similar.
They are.
So I've never heard faith and love and hope in a game before. Like,
and that's what we're going to say. So the faith is, I'm going to hit this ball where I want it to go. I have the faith. So that's my certainty. My confidence is a 10 out of 1 to 10. Number 2, I hope that it goes exactly as I see it. And normally it's, or you want to see it this angle?
That's what I want.
And that, right? I want to see that at the end.
Yes.
Now here's the thing. I have that, and I step up, and then I take the swing like I'm guided. It's like, Jesus, take the wheel. That song from Amy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's her. And so then I just take the swing, and no matter where the ball goes, instead of reacting, I respond. And I respond with, what's there to love about that shot?
Yes.
And so...
And I mean, when I'm thinking about what I was doing this morning, it was all about, man, am I taking it? Who's watching me? Oh gosh, it went that way. Oh, I'm never going to get this. And
those are spinning down.
Those limiting beliefs. It's kind of this conversation that's already inside of me, and I'm just bringing it here.
Yep.
It's not like the golf
brought it out of you.
It's something that's in my life that is already there. For some people, that 2 millimeter shift, Tim, is really this huge, scary gap. So what is your technique for when you were coming out? You said you weren't always this way.
No, I was was an angry golfer. I mean, if the ball didn't go where I wanted to go, really it was an emotional immaturity. I didn't know how to control my energy or my emotions, really.
But you were a pro at this time.
Absolutely, but we see a lot of pros get angry, though, still to this day out on the PGA Tour, and it does affect their peak performance. The brain waves go faster, the heart beats faster. This is a game of being more of a surgeon, and it's a mindset. And so everybody's usually good before the shot.
Yeah.
It's after they take the swing that they either then program themselves, if ball doesn't go where I want it to go, I get mad, I get angry, I get frustrated, I get depressed. See, this is life too, right? It's not just hitting this golf ball. You get up and maybe you want to have a deal at work, or you want to have a nice conversation with, you know, your kid.
Yeah.
And you go to have this, you know you can do it, you hope it goes nice, but then all of a sudden they go south on you.
Yes.
So do you then get pissed off with them, or do you go, you know what, I'm going to find something to love about this shot?
Yeah, you do all this preparation, you know, whether it's your family, whether it's work, whether it's real estate, you're doing all this preparation, and in your mind you have a story and you have a visualization of how it goes, but then oftentimes it goes left. So what turns you, because you're talking about a 2mm shift, and again, for a lot of people, it's a big deal from getting angry and frustrated to love, to joy, to hope. That's almost impossible for a lot of people to think about changing their mindset like that. What was it for you?
Well, I think it really came down to the fact that it's called leverage. If you get enough leverage, you can move a mountain. You put enough of a lever, you can move anything.
Yes.
So the leverage is, do I really want to be angry, pissed off? Do I want to feel these feelings anymore? And if you are honest with yourself, most people don't want to feel it. They want to move away from anger. They want to move away from frustration.
A lot of times the story is, this is how I am.
Okay, well then, when you say I am, you got to be careful, because then your subconscious will always stay consistent with the way you define yourself. So if you say I'm an angry person, I'm an angry person. But if you say, you know, I am love, try that once. I am love. And can you feel love?
Yeah, I feel like I could breathe, because I'm here interviewing you, wanting it to go well. But the moment I say I am love, it's just like an expansive feeling.
So here's what I say. Do it on purpose. This is how I made the shift. I teed up a ball, and I absolutely tried to miss it.
Oh.
I missed it. And I hit it bad. And then I went, what's there to love about that? And then I thought to myself consciously, well, if I'm going to look for something to love about it, I love the fact that the ball gave me feedback.
Okay.
It was like a teacher, so I'm going to respect the teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, you know what, the ball went to the right. Well, then my club face was maybe a little bit open. I'm going to make a little 2mm shift and get the club face back more to the left. And then I'm going to hit another shot, and then, you know what, maybe the ball went to the left. I'm going to love the fact that this thing taught me again. And then if I hit a golf shot that's really solid, and sometimes people go, well, what if you hit the house? Well, I love the fact I didn't break the window.
Oh,
well,
my goodness.
What if you broke the window, Tim? Well, I love the fact I didn't kill the person inside.
Yeah, so always just finding what is it in that moment that you could be thankful for, that you could be grateful for.
The good's always there.
That you can love. And, but there seems to be a moment of self-awareness. There's a moment where angry Tim looked outside and said, hey, you know what, I don't want to be angry anymore. What would you say to someone who's frustrated, who's angry in their life, who keeps taking the shots, who keeps feeling depressed, that spiral that we get down to? What do we do to just stop it and get into this love and get into this hope?
Absolute answer to depression and fear is gratitude. Be grateful that you even have the opportunity to come out and make a swing. We're on the golf course for Friday.
I know, right?
It's a beautiful day. Are we really did we program ourselves that every time this ball doesn't go where we want, we're going to get mad or angry or all those negatives? I was that guy. So here's the deal. You can't change a habit in one day, but you can in 21.
Okay.
If you do repetition. Repetition is the mother of a habit.
Yes.
So repetition. So I would say this, and I've done this for so many people. I say, okay, we got a new game today. We're going to go out to the golf course, or maybe you're going to go out to the tennis, or maybe you're going to go out to the baseball, or maybe you're going to go out and play ping pong, or you're going to throw horseshoes, or whatever it is. But you're going to play with 3 emotions. You're going to hope. You're going to have faith, number 1, that you can do it.
Okay.
Number 2, you're going to hope. You're going to then make the action, whatever it is, hit a golf ball, hit a tennis ball, toss a beanbag, and then you're going to find something to love about it. And then what you do is it just becomes a game. And then I remember the first time I did this with a guy, he hits it and it went in the water, and he goes, "Oh, I love the fact that looked like a bass jumping." Well, he said the love, but you could tell it wasn't in his body.
In there.
But by the end of the day, 18 holes later, he's like, "You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it." And then he actually tried to kill a drive one time, and he whiffed it. And then he looked at me, and I go, "Love the one you whiff." And that was a pattern interrupt. What we need to do sometimes is just interrupt our pattern.
Interrupt the pattern.
And I tell you, one of my pattern interruptions, my favorite one, and I think the Florida people will love this one. I'm from California in Palm Springs, and we don't get much rain. So here's the deal.
We're getting tons of it today.
Jack Nicklaus wins the 1986 Masters. The most incredible feat at that point in golf and in his career. And all these reporters are asking him like this, "Well, how was your day?" And Jack's like this. And then one reporter goes, "What about the shot you hit on number 4? And Jack actually shanked a 3-iron there, and he recovered nicely from it. But here's was his response. "You think it'll rain tomorrow? Next question."
Ooh.
And I went, and I was 20 years old, and I saw that, and I went, he didn't answer. And I thought, he didn't even acknowledge it. So here's my secret. Interrupt your pattern. If you find yourself getting pissed, angry, or doing an emotion, sadness, depression that you don't want, just interrupt the pattern. And maybe the rain, you like the rain. If you don't like the rain in Florida, maybe you go, "It's going to be sunny tomorrow." You don't have to use mine. I just took Jack's, and that's still mine. So I interrupt.
You just interrupt that negative.
I interrupt the negative with, "You think it'll rain tomorrow?" In other words, I'm not going to.
Do you think that some people might say, "Well, that's all like fairy tales and wishes. You have to look at the things that are bad in life. You have to, work with those things that are bad in life."
Great point. So, but here's the thing. All I want to say then is, let's move towards what we want. Let's not be focused on what we don't want. The very first golf lesson I gave Tony Robbins, he hit about 5 shots that were about as bad as you could hit him. I'm sorry, Tony,
he was pretty angry.
Well, and here's the thing. He said to me, he goes, "What am I doing wrong?" And I took a deep breath, and boy, that's what golf pros do, unfortunately, is most people come to him when they're not playing good.
Yes.
And I was about right here to tell him like the 10 things he was going to do wrong, and he goes, "Wait," with that big hand in my face.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, and he goes, and his eyes rolled up in his head, and here's the question he asked. "How can I make solid contact with that golf ball and have it go where I want it to go?" In other words, and I went, I was just ready to answer your other question.
Yes.
And then he says, "Can I give you some advice?" And this is like if he talks, and I'm like,
God, you're like, "Be quiet and listen to the master."
And he says, "If anyone ever asks you for the rest of your life, what am I doing wrong? Answer them like this. Ask them a question. Do you want to know what you're doing wrong, or do you want to know what to do right?"
That is huge.
And then he goes, "Now what do I need to do right?" And I said, "It's 5 things. If you're in balance."
Yes, we were learning that
and
today.
if you're in tempo, then you can make solid contact, and then it's just a path in face game. In other words, that's not going to hit the ball straight. That's not going to hit the ball. There's only one square that hits the ball. So all I ever ask for is, how can I be in better balance? How can I be in better tempo?
Yes.
How can I be in even more solid contact? And how can I get the path and the face going down the line? So I'm focused on what I need to do right. And whenever the ball doesn't go where I want it to go, I look for the good, the teacher, the respect, instead of the bad, because the bad's always there, and so's the good. Sometimes it's hard to find the good.
It is.
And that's where we have a creative mind, and that's where you have to go with it.
That work. Well, I have one more question. We're going to wrap up because I know that I'm holding you up for tea time. My question personally, and being in faith, and I know you're a man of faith, and personal development, and being a coach, and a lot of times people in my church or in my faith groups, they'll ask me, "Jen, why do you do this? Why do you do that? How can I do what you're doing?" And I say, yeah, prayer is good, but you want to work your mind out. You want to develop your inner core. You want to develop your mental game, your mind game. And they want to know, what's the difference between having faith in God that everything's going to work out and actively creating a strong mind? What would you say, because then sometimes they might be like, well, are you trying to teach me something that is not faith oriented? You're trying to bring me down this path of,
worldly stuff.
Exactly. Or New Age movement and stuff like that. So what would you say? Because I really want to share.
I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Because, hey, Romans 8:28. Do you know it, sister?
Oh gosh, give me a
God
couple words.
works for the good in all things.
Okay.
For those who love him and are called according to his
according to
purpose.
his purpose.
So if you do believe and you do have the faith
Yes.
in your creator, then here's the 2 millimeter shift. Most people I've figured out in life think things are happening to them. I made the shift, and I make 100% belief that I'm always being guided and that things are happening for me.
Yes.
And that just changed 2 to 4. And if you then all of a sudden change your belief, and that's a breakthrough. That's all a breakthrough is. All that is a shift in belief. I used to think the
It's
earth
almost
was
like
flat.
God loves you. God's not angry with you. God is a love of abundance and love and joy, and He's
So it's all
giving
happening
that
for us. For us to learn, for us to grow. So if every opportunity I have out there to hit a golf ball and try to make it go where I want, what if all I want to do is look for the good, find out, hey, this is all happening for me, then I'm feeling so much better.
Yes.
Instead of, oh, this is happening to me. God's spiting me
Yes.
or something
Yes.
like that. He doesn't
God
like
wants to
me.
spank me, that kind of a thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's just a belief. And I don't really think that's our God that's serving us. I mean, hey, He did all this. He put this heart in our chest. And I always say, put your hands on your heart and feel it. Guess what? It's beating, and you didn't deserve it. It just happened. You're here, and as long as this keeps beating, then you should be grateful for every moment while you're here, and that's how I live my life, in gratitude.
Amen. Well, thank you so much. And I love looking at your eyes. They're so full of joy and love when you came last time, and it's just, you're a blessing, and we're glad that you're here. We're grateful that you're here. So guys, we're going to just wrap up, say bye, and
blessings and
thank
love
you.
to all of you. You gotta love it.
Okay guys, so that wraps up our interview with the amazing Tim Hurja. I hope you got some tips, some tricks, and if you guys want to know more about the events that are coming up, things that you can do for personal coaching development, definitely reach out to me. We have awesome events. If you're a realtor and you're thinking about getting into business, then the Alliance is the place that you want to be. The Vivo team at the Alliance, eXp Realty in the house. And guys, if you're looking to buy a home, you see that one of my passions is just definitely helping you with your mindset, getting you and creating a plan to help you buy or sell your dream home. Definitely get in touch with me. We'll sit down, we'll have a conversation, and we'll create a plan of success. Bye guys, thanks again.